Now, he spent a lifetime being outrageous, but now Felix Dennis, entrepreneur, magazine publisher and poet, wants to teach you the secrets of business success. In the 1970s, his involvement with the underground magazine Oz led to his appearance in a high-profile obscenity trial. He went on to build a publishing empire with dozens of magazines stretching from Auto Express to Viz. Now he's published a book entitled 88, The Narrow Road, designed to pass on his business wisdom. And here's the man himself. Felix, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Jim.
Thanks for joining us. I can't imagine you feature in many Harvard Business School case studies, but you've made a fortune. What's the trick?
There are several tricks, and it's surprising how often I am asked to these places like Harvard to give speeches in business schools.
So the tricks are all in this book, are they?
Basically, I had a huge hit with a book called How to Get Rich about 4 or 5 years ago. And this was an anti-self-help book that told people, really, most of you should not really try to get very rich because it's going to wreck your life. And I had so many letters and emails and so on from thousands of people just saying, okay, fine. Could you now do a much shorter book, please? None of the boring anecdotes, you know, and the old hippie stuff. Could we just have a blueprint for making filthy lucre?
Lovely. It sounds great. Well, I've been reading it. You'll be delighted to know. And I've got one here. Rule 12. There are 88 rules. Rule 12, quote, you say that entrepreneurs must be weasels ready to rip the throat out of rabbits. What does that mean?
It means that there isn't a lot of room for sentiment, quite frankly. And there isn't.
Nice guys finish last.
Usually, I'm afraid that they do. And it is about creating a state of mind as well. I mean, if you're only... Entrepreneur's a big word. In other words, it covers a lot of territory. If you're talking about someone that wants to start their own hairdressing salon, and good luck to him or her, and stay there and make a living, that's fine. But that's not really an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur doesn't care in what business they work. They don't really care what commodities or whatever it is they're selling or buying.
They simply want the money.
I want the money.
And the buzz?
Of course you want the buzz, otherwise there's no point in doing it at all because you can't take the money with you. So yeah, of course you do. You want the adrenaline, and there are ways to deal with that. And you know, you can use the adrenaline that comes from being fearful of failure, for example, you can actually harness that fear, and it'll drive you harder.
What about Rule 83? This is a cracker, quote, if it floats, flies or fornicates, rent it, don't buy it. Does that mean no boats, no planes and no wives?
What it means is that if you're an entrepreneur, especially in the first couple of decades, you're pretty crazy investing in high asset items. If you really want to, if you've made some money, you're doing good, and you want to go on a big boat or something like that, or you want to fly private jets like I do, rent them. They're always cheaper. I don't think I want to talk too much about the fornication business because I do have a wonderful companion and lover, and she'll shout at me if she.
And this is a family show, but we have to pick you up on that because you did say once that you've spent $100 million on drugs and women. So what did you waste the rest on?
Exactly, the old Jimmy Best gag. I wasted the rest on sort of buying property and planting trees. And because I put hundreds of thousands of trees in the ground, it's shocking, isn't it?
Oh,
but I did at least have the 100 mil. You know, I did throw every single penny of that away in joyful abandon. I got to tell you, it was just fantastic.
For a guy that's done 100 million on drugs and women, you look pretty good.
Well, as long you know, don't carry mobile phones, don't exercise, you know, and you know, get your beauty sleep. You'll be absolutely fine.
Now, looking back, what was your best ever deal and your worst?
Probably the best ever deal was when we managed to take a public company that we'd created. My partners and I co-founded a public company in America on the NASDAQ, and we managed to get the greater fools, because they're always greater fools if they buy it, we managed to get the greater fools to buy it from us, and buy it back from the public and turn it private. So that netted hundreds and hundreds of $1 million. Let me see, the worst deal, you're going to love this.
Come on then.
I absolutely got taken to the cleaners by Lord Heseltine.
No, his lordship, surely not.
He took me to the cleaners, and it was my fault. It was completely my fault. I got so cross about a particular magazine I was publishing, and the story is in here. It is in 88, The Narrow Road, that I was so cross about it that I announced its closure precipitately, and he took me to lunch the next day. and said, I'll buy it from you. I had no negotiating position because I'd already announced that in the end he was pretty decent about it.
Yeah.
But he now publishes that magazine in about 20 countries in the world, and that was very, very silly. This book is subtitled A Brief Guide to the Getting of Money. And one of the things you learn if you want to make a lot of money is that you're going to make a lot of errors.
Okay, on that point, it's a good one. Felix, many thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.